Hello my dear students, once again welcome in my class. Let's study a new chapter today. You know friends, there are different types of schools around the country including many different public and private school models. We know about special schools for special children, right? Here the chapter, a different kind of school, specifies a different school. Let's see about it. The story is written by E.V. Lucas. His full name is Edward Verrell Lucas. He was an English humorist, essayist, playwright, biographer, publisher, poet, novelist, short story writer and an editor. So this was all about the poet. Now let's move on to the summary of this lesson, and after that a question answer session is also. So let's start the summary of this chapter. Here the narrator had heard about Beam School. Beam is a lady. Her teaching method were known as simple. The narrator went to the school. He asked the teacher some questions. The teacher told him that she taught boys and girls simple calculations and writing. They were taught how to do things themselves. Something were read to them. They were also involved in interesting talks. The schools aimed at teaching the students to be kind to others and be responsible citizens. The narrator saw the beautiful grounds. He had seen a poor little girl being led about by a boy. He also saw a girl with a crutch. He thought the one was blind and the other was lame. Miss Beam explained that she gave one blind, one lame, one deaf, one injured and one dumb day to every child in a term. Thus, she made the children understand and share misfortune. The eyes are bandaged on the blind day. Other children helped the blind children and led them about. Both the blind and their helpers learned a lot through this game. Miss Beam led the narrator to one of the bandaged girls. The girl told him that she felt she was going to be hit every moment. Being blinded was most frightening. The narrator and the girl walked and talked together. The narrator also became thoughtful about the sufferings of the invalids. He told Miss Beam that he was sorry to leave her school. She was overjoyed to learn that her system of teaching was effective. So, friends, this was all about the summary of this lesson. It's a short summary. It's a very beautiful story, a very meaningful story. I hope all of you like this story very well. So, study well. This is only a summary. Now, let's move on to the question answer section. Question number 1. Put these sentences from the story in the right order and write them out in a paragraph and don't refer to the text. I shall be so glad when today is over. Having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. I don't think I will mind being deaf for a day, at least not much. But being blind is so frightening. Only you must tell me about things. Let's go for a little walk. The other bad days cannot be half as bad as this. Answer is, let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. The other bad days cannot be half as bad as this. Having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. I don't think I will mind being deaf for a day, at least not much. But being blind is so frightening. Section B. Answer the following questions. Question number 1. Why do you think the writer visited Miss Beam's school? Answer. The writer had heard much about Miss Beam's new teaching method. So, he visited her school to see the new playway method personally. Question number 2. What was the game that every child in the school had to play? Answer. Every child in the school had to play the role of being blind, deaf, dumb, injured and lame once in a term. It was a sort of game and training. Question number 3. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day. Complete the line. Which day was the hardest, and why was it is the hardest? Answer. One injured day and one dumb day. Being blind was the hardest day. The student felt that he or she was going to be hit by something every moment. Question number 4. What was the purpose of these special days? Answer. The purpose of these special days was to give the children personal taste of misfortune. They learned to help the needy in the society. Such training made them good citizens. Move on to the long answer type questions. Question number 1. In what respect was Miss Beam's school different from others? Answer. Miss Beam ran a school, but it was very different from others. The children were taught how to spell words, do sums and write. The teacher taught to them interesting lessons. But the real aim of the school was to make children sensitive and good citizens, kind and responsible. They were given practical training to develop such a character. Question number 2. Which incident made the visitor to the school 10 times more thoughtful than ever? Answer. The narrator had heard a lot about the unique method of teaching in Beam's school. At first, he saw a blind girl being led out. Then he saw a lame boy. He thought that the students were not at all healthy and active. But soon he came to know that they were just acting to be blind, lame, crippled, etc. Meanwhile, he was asked to lead a blind girl around. The blind girl asked him many questions, and he had to apply his brain to describe people and things. He realized that he had become 10 times more thoughtful than ever. Section C. Reword these lines from the story. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, middle-aged, full of authority. I went to the window which overlooked a large garden. We cannot bandage the children's mouth, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Answer of this question is, the writer had heard people praising the teaching methods at Miss Beam's school. The writer found Miss Beam a middle-aged and dominating woman. The author looked out of the window and saw a large garden. The children had to use their willpower to keep quiet. Friends, today's class is over. In today's class, we have learned about the chapter A Different Kind of School, written by A.V. Lucas. A very beautiful story. So, this is it for today. Meet you in next video with another interesting chapter for you. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.